Give me a break. Most railwaymen on Sodor naturally associate goods wagons with trouble. However, most forget to believe that other rolling stock, even engines, can be a pain in the... Take these, for example, the Northwestern Railway's largest type of brake van, the Queen's Mary. These were different from other brake vans. They had 2 sets of bogie wheels and a much larger frame. Thomas was busy at work on his branch line, resituating wagon after wagon to where they were needed. For the umpteenth time, he ran into the brake van at the back of the train. Alright, brake van, you ready?
Call me Mary. That's my name. We brake vans can have names too, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I only asked if you were ready to leave.
Well, I've got to be ready. If I wasn't, you wouldn't be able to stop your train in an emergency now, would you?
I'll have you know, I have enough braking power to stop any train. I'd have to as a station pilot, wouldn't I?
Keep telling yourself that. I heard that story. Thomas and the trucks. I'm sure you remember it.
Unfortunately, Thomas did. How could he forget his first trip with a line of trucks?
Stop pushing, stop pushing. Go on, go on, go on, go on.
Probably a weight that slows you down anyway. 50 tons does sound heavy enough to slow a goods train down, must admit.
At least that's enough to bring me safely to a stop in an emergency. I mean, look at you. Without a guard, you're useless. Just another weight to pull at the end of the train. Don't think I like being dragged around behind trails of loud, obnoxious trucks all my life. Have you always been like this? Been like what? Correct? I suppose so. No, I mean, have you always been a pain in the, bunker?
How rude! How could you say that to the most superior brake van there is on this railway?
And I'm the rude one. Thomas marshaled the trucks so that they could be unloaded at the next station, then moved ahead to the water tower for a drink. Moments later, the firemen came back to where the driver was drinking a cup of tea. Just spoken to control. They said to leave those trucks, but take the brake van back to Farquhar for Percy's next train. Alright then, let's get to it. Thomas's tanks are full. We can't lose much time or we'll block Daisy's next passenger train. Thomas quickly shunted Mary away from the rest of the train and left the trucks to be unloaded. Still fuming over his argument with her, he angrily bumped her.
Watch it, Shunter. I just had my buffers fired.
Pedicures for rolling stock. What is this world coming to? Bad news. The guard won't be with you for the rest of the trip. He's sick as a dog and is better off lying with a bucket and a blanket than being thrown around in the brake van. Great. Does this mean we can't go anywhere until we find a replacement? No, you're all clear to leave, but just better hurry so you don't hold up the passenger run. After talking to the station master, the clearly unqualified fireman had forgotten to check if he had coupled Thomas to the brake van. And Thomas wasn't in the mood to check either. Surprisingly, the short trip went as it intended to be, or at least until they reached the first incline. Thomas was working roughly and made an infuriated chuff, which drowned out all the other sounds such as a brake van rolling away.
Everything seemed fine as they began to coast down the other side at a steady speed, but not for Mary.
What in the name of Proteus? Look at that! We've lost the brake van. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, I can't stop. I can't stop. How am I gonna stop? Okay, this is bad. This is very, very bad. Ah!
Mary, without a guard to pull her to the stop, rolled straight into the yard. Plate layers watched in surprise as she clattered over the points and into a pair of buffers at the end of the line.
Ow! So, you thought you could be an engine, eh, Mary? Hate to say it, but, you know, I told you so.
You can't stop a train or yourself without a little bit of help. Ashamed and embarrassed, Mary said nothing. Don't worry, I'm the same. At least now that you've had an accident, I hope you can see we are equal now. I'll get you back on the rails.
Later that day, Mary was safely re-railed, with only minor damage to her filed buffer beam. So, Thomas, I'm sorry for what I said. Don't even bother. Save yourself the embarrassment. I forgive you. I'm sorry too. Trust me, Donald and Douglas would never let me forget about this. After all, they smashed a brake van into pieces a few years back. Hey, what? Well, that's a story from another time. For now, let's just call it a day, shall we? They actually smashed a brake van to pieces? Yeah, they smashed the brake van to pieces. It was a lot smaller than you, though. A bit thinner. Are you saying I'm fat? What? No, I'm not saying you're fat. How can brake vans even be fat? If you're gonna say I'm fat, you've got another thing coming, Mr. 50 tons. Oh, will you shut up? Give me a break. Give you a break. All you do is chuff around with your two coaches all day. You never do good work. You didn't even do a good job of it today. Losing your brake van of all things. Wait till I tell Henrietta